Yeah!
What does that mean?
That's Leopardon.
The fuck is a Leopardon?
It's his mega sword.
Oh, of course. Of course they have to add in a mega sword to Spider-Man.
Oh my god. It looks amazing. I've only heard about it. Holy shit.
Does he get a giant Spider-Man suit?
But we'll
He
see.
better. He has to. Otherwise I want my money back.
So, Spider-Man. He is pretty much Marvel's mascot, and he has been their most popular character since forever. Yeah. And there's been a ton of shit with Spider-Man. In the last, 15 years, we've had 3 different reboots of him. People love and have always loved Spider-Man. And you know who loves Spider-Man very much?
Japan.
Yes. In the late 70s, Toei produced this live-action Spider-Man show, and I guess it qualifies as a Spider-Man show because he's called Spider-Man and he's wearing the Spider-Man costume and he's shooting webs, but there are a couple key differences.
Yeah, that's about it where it runs similar to American Spider-Man. Other than that, it's kind of just a show about a giant leopard mech, which I'm good with. I like that.
Oh my god, this is so much better than the Amazing Spider-Man movies.
This is not Peter Parker. He's not called Peter Parker. He's called Takuya.
Right.
And he is not a photographer. He is a motorcycle driver.
Like a stunt guy.
So 400 years ago,
right,
there was this planet called Planet Spider. Yes, and it was invaded by the Iron Cross Army, commanded by Professor Monster.
Right.
And they went to Planet Spider and basically obliterated it. And there was one guy left. His name was Garaya. He wore like a weird mermaid helmet. Garaya wanted revenge, so he went to Earth. And he fought Professor Monster there, but then fell down a hole. So he goes into hibernation for 400 years.
Right.
And one day, Takuya starts hearing, "Brother, come to me, brother," telepathically. So he goes to investigate.
There's so much smoke in front of that camera.
The dinosaur monster kills his dad.
Right.
And before his dad dies, he gives him a speech, and it's similar to Uncle Ben's death. And immediately after his father dies, he falls into the same hole Garaya fell down to, and he runs into Garaya, and Garaya gives him this wrist thing that injects powers into him. And that's how he becomes Spider-Man.
This must sound like such nonsense if you haven't seen this. It must make it. And the thing is that they explain everything that he's just explained 100 times, and it still doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, this show is nothing but exposition. We watched 2 episodes, and they went over the origin in detail both times, and we're still very confused as to what anything is.
Put
on the spider protector and become the Spider-Man. Oh shit!
Yes. You go. Oh, it just shoots out.
Well, that was shitty looking. That was terrible.
The editing in this show is crazy.
Yeah, the editing is terrible. Whenever Spider-Man fights the Power Rangers putties, the editing just goes nuts and jumps all over the place, and you don't know what's happening.
What the fuck?
The editing is so strange. Like what? How did he get down there? Oh
my god. Getting like whiplash from this. And they never really get anything done. They're just there to kind of like do flips a lot.
Yeah, I mean, they're like standard Sentai henchmen.
Right.
This is all going by traditional Sentai tropes.
Why? What are they doing?
They're like, look at what we can do. We can do backward flips.
Spider-Man is given, in addition to the watch, he is also given this thing called the Marveler, which is a ship, and this ship can transform into a giant robot called the Leopardon, like a leopard.
Yeah. It's like a leopard.
Yeah,
robot.
for some reason it's not a spider. He has like webbing symbols on his knees, but that's about it. It's a leopard robot that looks just like the Megazord from Power Rangers.
It's like the same color scheme, and they go to it so quickly. It's like, fuck Spider-Man, they just abandoned it, and they're like, let's do a leopard robot instead. It should be called Leopard Man, really. Like, Spider-Man is barely in it.
He also has a car. He gets a car called the Spider Machine GP7, and it's a car that can fly and shoot missiles.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
In the first episode, he fights a dinosaur with axe hands, and in the second episode, he fights a brain that becomes a giant lobster man.
Great. What?
What is? Wait,
it's got a body.
Okay.
What? Okay, so now he just looks like a weird alien monster.
So it might just be like a lobster? Maybe?
Okay, he's big now.
The whole plot of the second episode is that there's a brain going around derailing trains, and Spider-Man has to stop it. The brain just shows up. They don't explain that Professor Monster sent it. Like, you're just supposed to assume, I guess, that he sent it. But, like, if you didn't know it was happening, it'd just be like, oh, there's a floating brain that hates trains. Like,
they don't explain what either of these things are. They're just monsters that work for Professor Monster.
Right.
I mean, I guess it's fitting. He just has monsters. There's a scene where Takuya goes to a church and there's Jesus up there, and he looks at Jesus while thinking about the plot.
Is he going to Jesus for the answers on these alien Spider-Men? That, I mean, for a Japanese thing, that's pretty weird.
I bet you they don't acknowledge why he's in a church.
What the fuck?
At no point we're told why he's at church. The dialogue doesn't acknowledge that he's at church. He's just there staring at Jesus. They intercut Jesus with Garaya.
Yeah.
So it's like Garaya is Jesus because just like Jesus, he spent time in a hole.
Right.
Although Jesus was actually dead, Takuya just was lazy and didn't want to leave the cave for some reason.
It's very loose, lazy symbolism. Garaya, after giving his powers to Takuya, turns into a spider. And at first you think, oh, he's going to be a spider who teaches Spider-Man how to be a spider, and he's like his mentor spider, and then he dies.
Yeah,
5 minutes later.
Yeah, he's around for the first episode, and then in the second episode he just dies. And it was weird, because the first time he turned into a spider, it makes it seem like he's a talking spider, but then he never talks again.
Right, yeah.
It's really bizarre.
Spider-Man! An emissary from hell! Spider-Man cut! Yes! So good.
So, Chason, would you recommend Spider-Man from Toei?
Maybe for like an episode or two. I don't think I could handle watching 40 episodes of this. Especially if it seemed to like just be very repetitive after a while. So
extremely repetitive, yeah.
There are better shows to watch in this vein, like, unless you're a huge Spider-Man fan.
I pretty much agree with you. Like, it's funny that this exists, and it's fun to watch it for a while, but it gets repetitive and stale pretty quick. so I probably wouldn't recommend watching more than the first episode. It's still pretty funny that this show exists. Like,
it's amazing.
So, Chason, would you say that this Spider-Man is better or worse than Peter Parker?
How does the Kuya rank as far as Spider-Man for you?
Because, there's Peter Parker,
Peter Parker.
there's Miles Morales,
Yeah.
there's Gwen Stacy,
Gwen Stacy, yeah.
and I'm sure there's a bunch of others that I'm forgetting. But those are the three main ones.
Yeah. He's number one.
Takuya is the best Spider-Man ever. Put him in the next reboot, please.
Ooh, that'd be a cool cameo.
Yeah, an Asian Spider-Man, I'd be all for that.
Bye. Okay.